What is going on, guys? This is Yix here at Mag Crypto, back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing end of week market breakdown as per usual. So stick around and let's get this show on the road. So I'm sure everyone's been watching Bitcoin, and what it's looking like at the moment is there's a little bit of demand below this candle, but so far it's not showing any sign of reversal. So until we see an actual green candle, then we should probably expect it to go further down. So if we move to the actual daily time frame, there's a little bit more of a sign of a slowdown, but not enough to actually constitute a reversal. So I'd say there's probably a decent chance that it's probably going to go lower towards the previous low of around 45,000, which confluences with the fib set up at the 0.5 level. So at the moment it's looking like there's a good chance that it's going to go further down. So don't be surprised if it does. To go even further, 45, normally when it comes to these kind of situations where we're waiting for that reversal, it can probably can go further than what we are anticipating. So 45 may not actually hold. It may dip a little bit further, like you can see this wick over here, down to about 42k. So just be ready for that. But of course, medium to long term, we know that Bitcoin and the rest of the market are going to go further up. So these are good opportunities to buy the dip. Again, it's going to be the narrative for the rest of the video, but any coins that you're looking at that you're super bullish on, you want to get these coins on discount. So as long as you've done your research, this is a good time to get these coins on a discount. And there's still quite a few more to go in the rest of the cycle, so there'll be more chances. But again, that's my unsolicited, unprofessional advice, so you can do with that what you need to. Moving over to Ethereum. So Ethereum, during the midweek breakdown, I said it looked quite volatile. You can see there's a lot of wicking action and a little bit of volume. So we made new highs this week, which was quite surprising, but there's also a lot of downside action as well. So it could easily do what Bitcoin has done and just break to the downside along with the rest of the market. So Ethereum is in my eyes is a bit in limbo. As I said, it can drop further down to 1900. Even if this wick was very close to entering into the 1900s. So expect the unexpected with Ethereum. We've got some resistance over at 2500. We managed to get past there a little bit, but that seems to be the point of resistance. And support is at about 1970, which is the previous high. So at the moment, it's still at a good level, meaning it's above the previous high. It could probably still go further down and test it properly with a candle closure. But as long as it stays above this level, even though it's looking quite volatile, quite uncertain, it's still at a good level. So nothing too much to worry about. It hasn't broken below like Bitcoin just yet. Taking a look at Cardano. So Cardano, as mentioned in not the last breakdown, but maybe a couple of videos before, it was looking like it was in somewhat of a weak symmetrical triangle, and it's broken. In the last week, it was just breaking above it, but that, as you can see now, massive sell side pressure just below the area of 157. Since then, it went all the way from that level back into this symmetrical triangle, and it's now breaking below. So it actually has already tapped below the previous high of 95 cents, but we may see some further movement towards that level and to test it with a candle closure. As you can see, even though this is a lot of demand, it managed to push the price all the way back up. Until we see that green candle, you should expect for it to go further down. If we move to the daily, maybe we can see a bit more clarity. Massive wick, but the rest of the candles are showing that it's probably going to keep going down. It's only been a little bit of profit taking, a little bit of a reversal, not enough to indicate a reversal. So, you know, if we look from the daily time frame, we can maybe see some support in this area over here, about $1.03. But the main level is going to be around 96 cents, and then further down below 85 cents. But I think the 95-cent region is going to be the main level of support. Probably isn't going to go too much further down than that. Next, we'll have a look at Chainlink. Chainlink is actually, even though obviously we had a massive, you know, reversal or rejection from $45 all the way down to 31, it's still above a very important support level. This trend line right here, you can see it's clearly been supporting it since about late January. So as long as it stays above this level, I think the bulls are still in control. But right now, as it's just closed below previous high of $35, it might start to form somewhat of a ascending triangle. If it consolidates within this region, then it may end up leading to an explosion to the upside towards $50. So this trend line is the important thing to look at. As long as it stays above there, then it's looking all good. If it breaks below there, then I would say the main support level is going to be about $24. And if we look at it from the daily, it looks, you can see that it makes a lot of sense. It used to be resistance over here, turned into support on 2 occasions, so it may end up becoming support. But me thinking out loud again, or me thinking out loud right now, that would be the 3rd test actually. So, you know, we've got to be mindful of that, because the more a level gets tested, the weaker it becomes. So if that's the case, then it may not hold. So let's just keep a lookout on that. But that's definitely the next major level if it breaks below that trend line. If the bull case wins over and it ends up being like an ascending triangle within this, then 38 will definitely get hit once again, and then 45 and 50. So definitely keep an eye on that. Next, we'll have a look at CRV. So we covered this in the previous last week's end of week market breakdown. And what I said last time was that it was in limbo. So this was the candle that we were looking at that time. And it was basically in between the support level and the major resistance level. So we needed to wait for some kind of direction, and we now have that direction, which is to the downside. So now that's broken below that support level, there's a good chance that one is going to go further down towards $2.10. So let me highlight that area. So this level right here, which is already tapped, but it could go further down, and then the next major support level is 170 to 180. That's where it's heading towards, unless next week we see a turnaround from this level. Moving over to the daily time frame, we can see green candle, so it is showing a sign of a reversal, but we need to make some more higher lows and then get past this green zone for us to become bullish once again. So the next few days is going to be quite crucial, but on the weekly time frame, it does look like it's going to go further down, potentially below this towards 180. But again, we've got to see how it reacts around this level. So far, so good. It's a rejection, but we need to see a green candle. So Singularity net, it did what I thought it was going to do at this level. So it broke past, beautiful move all the way to 58 cents. My target was 50 cents. It hit that, got past there. I took a little bit of profit off the table. So the next major levels I was looking at, as you can see, this was already highlighted, was the previous wick over here, which is about 32 cents. And that's where it's finding support right now. But the next major level of support is going to be the previous wick over here. And that equates to about 25 cents. But also where you can see the wick that's where it's found support, which is around 23 cents. That is the next major level of support, and that used to be resistance. So that's what I'll be looking at to see if it starts to go down towards, and where I'll be looking to see some kind of reversal. Now at the moment, moving to the daily, what's happening is you can see some kind of bearish flag forming over here, and this is normally somewhat of a pause between the previous move and the next move. So as you can see, massive downside action, a lot of selling going on, and then this is somewhat of a small move you see before it continues on back down. So we've got to be very careful that it's probably, as I said, it probably is going to make this move, but let's see how it continues on. The only thing I would say which is somewhat of a bullish thing is definitely this much demand. There's a lot of demand that's pushed it up all the way to this level. So if we do see some green and then form some higher lows and then attack this level again, then I'll be bullish. But if it turns around and then manages to just come short of it, then for sure it's going to keep going down. So be very wary of that move. So Cosmos, of course, one of my favorite picks, is still within this symmetrical triangle. Now this is similar to Cardano. It's not a strong one because you can see it's just basically the wicks that is forming this triangle. Normally you'd want to see the actual candles hitting these trend lines, so it's not a very strong one, but still you can see an ascending trend and a descending trend with these trend lines. So we had a massive blow off top right here, but that's pushed it back into the symmetrical triangle. So if that is the case, if it is acting this way, then we might see a move to the upside, back towards 25 cents, back towards the previous highs. The other thing that kind of confluences with a move to the upside is the Elliott wave theory, and that's where you can see it's normally within an Elliott wave theory correction you have like an ABC correction, so it's like 1, 2, 3, which could be constituting an ABC correction. If that is the case, again, this correction could be over and we could see a move to the upside, so back towards the previous high, 23, 25 and above. But if it closes below this triangle, then of course we can see 17 being hit once again, and then back towards $15. So the next week is going to be quite important for Cosmos. But we'll finish with KAVA, and this is just, I've mentioned this so many times, but you need to make sure to take profit, because this massive move over here, I'll be covering it from the bottom $1.20 all the way to $8, which is of course a huge move. But I knew at this point, when it got to this level, okay, there's probably a good chance that it's gonna reverse, correct, and then form another move. So I definitely took about 10% of profit around this level, in anticipation for this downwards move. But what could probably happen now is further correction towards the 0.5 level, or even there's some support right here, $3.36, around this area, and then it's going to probably start building the next move. But the main thing the reason why I wanted to cover this crypto is because you need to take profit, 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever you decide to do, but always take money off the table. Never leave it just sitting there going up and up and up, because eventually it's going to reverse and then you'll end up losing profit. And that's definitely going to be my main target for this year, to not leave money on the table, take profit, because at the end of the day, one of my Instagram posts that I made not too long ago was, you haven't finished your job unless the money is in your bank account. So I'll end this video with that lesson. Take profit, don't let it sit there for too long, and otherwise you're going to end up with 10x profit, and before you know it, that 10x turns to 2x and it turns into a loss. So just be mindful of that. That'll be the end of this video. Hopefully you got some value from that, and see you in the next one. Peace.